Okay, that quote sounds like the verbal component for casting some like wild animals. As a
You know, I can imagine it.
I just want squirrel.
Okay, before we descend into any more madness.
Amos, quickly, please.
Oh no, I've already unmuted, so they heard that whole ending part.
Yes! If it makes you feel any better,
Please hold.
Spider, if it makes you feel any better, Nightshade and I did that at the last Strahd session.
Nice.
I was unmuted for 7 minutes.
Oh my god.
And I told Nightshade, I was like, Nightshade, do you want to tell him or should I?
Oh man.
How dare you do that thing of what you done? Hey.
And
Lotus's response of, you unmuted, you bitch.
Welcome back to the chaos that is
guys.
my
Hello.
thing.
Hi. It's made a mistake wanting to DM first.
I did. Hi,
You love us. You loves us.
I just...
Maybe.
There are days where I'm questioning sanity, but...
Okay, to be fair, welcome. This is the group. The group does that.
Hello.
Send help. Just send help.
The fuck happened last week?
I don't know. I've got notes.
Right. Y'all rescued Kreh, and may have found out some things about the dickish elf boy.
Yeah.
That took her in the first place. Matthew might be conspiring in the basement when they got back, basically.
It's fine. I'm sure Owen would not realize. Oh, he's not good.
Technically, these two would have been in here when they got back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, it's fine. When Matthew starts planning things, it's fine. Everything's fine.
It's not. No, my Rin PTSD is like, no, he doesn't need to make
He
any
made
plans ever.
almost a
No.
promise.
Concern. It's a bad time.
It just
is a
might
bad time.
take some time.
It's fine.
You gotta
Everything's
stack the
fine.
deck.
I very for my brain to catch up. Think onion. Think gin.
So, somebody wants booze.
I have a bottle of whiskey and I opened it earlier and did not drink any of it. Because I could not bring myself to drink any of it.
Oh, man. I don't think a lot happened. It was a lot of talk last session.
Yeah.
There wasn't really
Yeah.
anything, like, big that happened yet.
Cinder and Ignis split.
Yes, Cinder and Ignis
That's true.
did split. So now they are two separate people.
We were beside ourselves.
God damn it.
What? Where's the command?
With the
for
help
that?
of Ace,
Yes.
who you can only assume will leave town now? You're not sure? He never said. Even I don't know what that
That's
man's
fine.
doing. He just does things.
He neither confirmed nor denied, and would appreciate if you send any further questions through his assistant.
You know, I want to try and guess how you decide his decisions. Fox. It is at that moment you roll a d20. It's like, okay, yeah, that's what he does.
No, it's more of, does it make sense for him to do this? Yeah, because for some reason he probably was following him.
Fair. Fair.
That's mainly how I play Ace. I'm like, what makes sense? What is he doing when he's bored?
He follows them. Shit.
Or he sends out one of the sneaky ones.
Yeah.
Sneaky boy. Yeah.
It's fine.
So yeah, you know, you guys get back to the house.
Yeah.
Fair.
He does not talk to Alan or Milf.
I feel like Alwyn probably gives Milv the look of, oh, he's mad.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah,
Amos
you know.
also walked in without saying anything, and is just sitting there, just staring.
Why do
Yeah,
I feel
Milf is just like in the corner, like, huh, holy shit.
Dare I ask what happened?
Ignis and Cinder both shrug because they couldn't hear outside of the whole thing when that conversation was happening.
Yeah.
I'll feel the end when I fill in the dog first.
I wouldn't call him that in front of him, but okay.
To be fair, he's a metal dog right now.
Fair, he just doesn't like it.
Not entirely inaccurate.
How I got away with calling him pup all these years, I will have no fucking idea.
Because you look terrifying.
No, they were best friends.
That would also make as much sense.
Well, technically he's still alive, so I think it's more is it? Fuck if I know.
R. The word you're looking for is R.
Thank you, wordy big guy.
What the fuck?
Wordy big guy.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Just fly out this way.
I would like to take this moment in time to state to the internet that I am not quotable, and there is literally no proof at all except all of it that there is.
As I posted that as you were saying
Boom.
that.
Hence why I said it. I felt like needed to be punctuated.
Fair.
Not quotable at all.
There is no proof except 129.
And 60% of the other quotes.
Yeah. About 60% of the quotes are drags.
I can't. Okay. Sorry.
Clearly, you all just need to find me a tad less funny.
Oh, please, that ain't gonna happen. You say some of those random shit sometimes. And it's great.
I should make a whole separate command that's only drag quotes.
Oh my
Exclamation
God.
drag quote.
You know?
I'll put it as DQ so everyone thinks it's Dairy Queen.
Oh my God.
Yes!
Yes.
Exclamation DQ.
Put a little descriptor. Enter for a special treat. Confuse everyone. It's going like, the fuck is with the Furborg?
What?
Why are we
Uh,
doing like this? What the flip?
We have gone so far off the topic and we're only 5 minutes in, man.
I know.
No, you know what? Fair.
We are off the reserve at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna mute now. Please excuse me.
I'm gonna prepare to traumatize you all.
I hate you. Not really.
You should.
Oh.
Wait, I'm still technically in the room. I have the option to say shit if I need to. Either way.
Yes. You are technically in the room.
Yeah, I realized this going like, I said it was going. I
Nevada
can
is
see
your
green in
character.
this room. I'm good. Fuck right. Milva's mine.
Here, will this help if I do this? Hold on.
It's
There you go.
fine. I only chugged the equivalent of 2 cups of coffee within 10 minutes about an hour ago. I'm great.
But
You don't
this might
drink
actually be good to
coffee.
do for stream anyway, so they know who's playing who.
That's also fair.
You know, fair.
Cinder kind of looks like him, but you know where Striker is? Just a big metal wolf. Tilts its head. And then looks back where it came from.
That thing is so cute.
I was just happy because the Cinder is back.
Aww.
Nubby's probably
That's like somebody
staring
left and
off
they didn't
in the
return.
direction. Oh, fair. I was saying Nubby was left there, I will say.
Yeah.
He's probably just
I mean, technically, all one can also
staring.
tell you where he is.
That's also fair. He's just staring that way anyways, I would say.
I don't think their conversation was really that long because he recommended that she go talk to Lucky. So.
Yeah, and
Oh.
she recognized that that wasn't happening anytime soon because Lucky still hadn't emerged and she wasn't sure he was going to.
Yeah, because okay, to put in perspective, she was asking about Rin, and he gave her, his perspective and said, "You might want to talk to Lucky about her, actually."
Like I am husbando.
But I was not best friend /
I'm
brother.
biased.
Yeah.
Not much a bias. It was more along the lines of he explained like in his point of view, there was only one other person that seemed to completely understand where Rin was coming from, and that was Lucky at the time.
Striker did after they fought for an hour.
Yes. They
Or
would
days.
they would eventually get to a point where he'd go, oh, is that what are you, come on!
Yeah. Oh, those two were just perfect.
They
Yes.
loved each other so much. But yeah, no, it wasn't very long, and she did end up apologizing to him for basically putting the person he was supposed to be looking after in danger.
All you got was a shrug in response, because,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine.
In Striker's mind, unless the Raven Queen yells at him, he's not in trouble.
Unless
He's
the
not
Red Queen
having a-
or Rin.
Yes.
That is, yeah.
Ren hasn't yelled at him yet, so he must not be in trouble.
You know, she might be busy. Yeah, once they finish that up, and probably hearing them come back, she'll just kind of lean back over here, in the doorway. I see if we were successful?
No, you're just really drunk.
Don't put it past me.
Well, at least you can tell them apart much easier than the others.
I like to picture like they look physically the same, like it's like a color swap on fighters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. Ah, the skins.
This
Well,
is going
isn't
to
part of
be...
skin color. Yeah.
Glad things went well.
For the most part, don't know why, but some people seemed a little looks at Amos.
Well, I have to tell Striker something anyways, so it's best I could just say it here.
Oh,
And-
good.
This is
Striker
fine.
Striker question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Shifter, correct?
Yeah.
I've got How do you feel about enslavement?
It's one of the reasons my sister died once. Why?
So, Cam, you know how shite people this family is? Minus a couple of times.
She's just kind of staring at you with this, like, blank, like, blink, eater.
Well, the reason I bring up the shifter thing and asking about enslavement, right? Aeren was purchased for enslavement.
But
He was a pet.
He's just silent.
they bought a. Alright, I knew they were scum of the earth, but I didn't think they sunk so low that the deepest depths of the ocean couldn't even reach them.
You would be surprised how many people do that.
Did
Not right.
Did Jack mention as far as the age thing? As far as what happened to him, or was that just something you told us off? As far as
He mentioned
or is that
to
player knowledge?
Kreh.
Okay, cool.
I don't think he told you. He said that
Okay.
the most you had is that he was taken away from his family,
Gotcha.
but his was a bit of a different scenario.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't want to say anything if it wasn't.
I think all
if it
he
was
told
player.
Amos was that he was young. He didn't specify.
Gotcha. Well, apparently, at a very young age or a young age, don't know what that is, or. But yeah, that is when he was purchased.
Well, I can less now.
I think the player knowledge on Aeren was what you're thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I
Because,
wanted
I
to
think
check. I
Kreh-
didn't want to say it if it was.
Kreh only knows that he'd been with them for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fun times.
And there is a secondary thing to this. If you want to have your way with the family, you know, there's obviously a couple people you don't, as far as mess with. Cam, I'm sure, can tell you which those are. As well as, you can't necessarily do anything to the blue-haired one.
Why?
Kreh has dibs.
Fair, I suppose. Okay.
Oh, by proxy, I technically also have dibs then. So he kind of just walks and sits.
Well, the good news, I will say, there is a plan in place. Sort of.
Is that why the crazy one isn't in the room?
Possibly. I don't know. He's going to be attaining blue hair while we're doing... Well, he'll be attaining blue hair at some point and making him a house guest. For the foreseeable future.
I'm not entirely sure that's a great idea.
To be fair, if he does it as one of his many guises, it's not like they'll know.
If they find out.
That could land a lot of people in a lot of trouble.
Oh.
To be fair, he might have already thought of that. He seems to plan things out.
He does seem like that. He also seems a rather... She looks at Strike. Was he, always this...
You said it'd be worse.
He can be much worse than what you've seen.
That's concerning, but alright, good to know.
There was a bit of good news other than the separation, as far as succeeding.
Oh,
Matthew and the showman seemed to get along.
we're supposed to take that as good news?
Yes.
2 crazies in one place. That's supposed to be good news.
Yes.
I'm sorry, he was here? Because Striker was not in the room for that.
Was. Yes.
Of course, those two would get along.
Not without some. I would like to call them threats, but I wasn't entirely sure.
It was probably threats.
Threats in the guise of playful banter. That's how I'm going to call it.
I am
You know
my
who the
slight
showman is?
sad that I missed this.
Yeah, there's no one in the background. Do I know who the hell the showman is? Wait, has that been mentioned before? I can't.
Owen pats her on the head.
Because technically, I was tell her not that long ago.
Oh shit! Right.
I don't think he specified the
shit,
showman part.
Ah,
No.
Here, mate. For fuck's sake, pick a fucking name. Damn. And now the corporation has been said. It's fine.
Yes.
She might remember. She might not. Who knows?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I just think Owen's like so much taller than her. That's just an easy, quick pat.
Just pat pat.
I just imagine the number of times he'd done that, and the number of times there was just this somewhat immediate slow head tilt to look up and stare at him.
I wonder, was there ever the time where it got to a point where Milf sensed it was coming, just immediately turned up to look?
I imagine
Just
over the
face
course
pat.
of who knows how many hundreds of years, probably.
Just.
His hand just stops midway, like.
Unless I go, don't you fucking do it.
Pat pat.
well, this has been a day, and we still have to get through the rest of it. So, I have no idea where the booze is in here, but I might start looking for it.
I think it's back there, like in that shelfy thingy.
Neat. Anyone else want anything?
Cinder shakes her head. So does Amos. She's like,
Probably about
"Nah."
3.
Fair enough. Wanders over to try and find alcohol.
Milv ever gotten drunk?
Yeah, there was that mysterious fire liquid,
Oh yeah.
That's right.
and of course the vampire booze, which I think she may have tried once.
I think she just knocked out with that one though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
90% of the party knocked out with that one.
Yeah.
yeah, as intended.
Including Xander.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Poor rolls, man. Oh, goodness.
See, we have some nice whiskey, we have some nice ale, and we have this barrel labeled "This will kill most mortals."
Ah, this is the one I need then. I wish you for death. It is my friend.
Nah. What time of day is it, anyways? Not really like grabbing boobs.
It's also the same day that Kreh came back.
Yeah.
And it's probably getting probably like 4 or 5 o'clock by this point then. Between the
Okay,
morning
it's
stuff, the Cinder stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta
Okay.
think that this thing took an hour at least,
Yeah.
not including travel time.
Getting close to evening, night area, but it's basically around that area.
See, you're not morning drinking. You're good.
Excellent. This is all I wanted to make sure of. Not that she wouldn't, considering what's happened, but at the same time.
It looks a little better.
Yeah. She will return and hand Milv her 3.
Sweet.
You know how intent I am to have Ignis Boober.
You know?
Wait, Ignis poo poo.
She has a booping
Cam.
stick now.
She does have a booping stick.
True. Pooping stick.
She's just gonna stretch with the quarterstaff and boop her on top of the head.
Cam?
Mm-hmm.
Oh good, you can do that on your own now.
I think I like that better.
This is going to be
Smirk.
interesting.
Hmm.
I want to make a comment of how much harder Ignis probably will hit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Especially because you consider fact, technically, if Cinder is around, she can cast Shillelagh on the quarterstaff.
Oh no.
Yeah, if you take into consideration, no longer multi-class, now they're split.
Mm.
She's technically a full monk.
Oh boy.
Which I was talking earlier because of the way the skills split. They both have 4, but I was like, Ignis wasn't more the nature of survival. So like, why not the monk ones where it's acrobatics and insight?
Yeah.
She was always better at reading people than Cinder was.
Yeah.
You know.
It's fine. It's only +9.
Splitting the skills between Ace, Lucky, and Xander was such a pain.
Yeah.
I can
You
imagine.
know. Which is the sole reason that if I ever get a split personality character, they're gonna stay that way, and I can be a complete fucking lunatic and be perfectly justified.
Oh my gosh.
Yours probably wouldn't be this scenario. It'd just actually be Kreh that just went crazy.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you feel better.
Everything's
She can
awesome.
technically run up walls and cross water.
Oh god.
Ooh, she's that far into right.
Yeah, that's not very far into it, actually.
Yeah, it's level 9.
Yeah.
45
one of
movement speed.
Early things you get.
Yeah. Yeah, Cam's got nothing. She's just slowly sipping right now. She's not trying to get super drunk right away.
Fair?
She's trying to control that.
That's fair.
Yeah. Kreh has been told to rest, so she will not come out of this room so people can assume she's rested.
Hmm? There.
And Milv has her boo, she's good.
Cinder's probably just, at this point, worried about the 3 people in the room still. Because this one's been through a lot. This one's been through a lot. And technically this one's been through a lot. They've all been through a lot
Yeah.
in their own senses. And Cinder does not. Cinder is just like Cinder. Cinder's the more compassion.
Yeah.
This is the more opposite of that. It's fine.
I feel like Alwyn's just monitoring Mil's booze intake to make sure she doesn't pass out on the table.
What?
As soon as she
She's
gets to
not
the
ready.
folly over part, she did lesser restoration.
She's not Rin. She's perfectly fine.
You
Drink
realize
3
how...
times as
how-
much as Ren.
Yeah. Yeah, she probably chugged the first one and it was just like slowed down on the second one.
Oh goodness.
What? He's got good booze.
Yeah, chances are there is probably a big probability. Oh, we lost the Spire.
Uh-oh.
Big probability that Aeren might wake up like in the middle of the night.
Okay. Hello.
Because he's been unconscious all day.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah,
my
That's
gosh.
fair.
I got disconnected. My bad. Hi.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. It's all good.
Everything decided to die all of a sudden. Like, nah, no warning, no nothing. Okay. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all perfectly fine. I did not come up with a genocide plan while you were away.
You know?
No, there's a genocide plan happening in the basement right now.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. It's fine. It might have grown in scale based on information between the 2 of them talking. It's fine. It might take longer to take into effect.
Amos
Yeah.
looks over at Alwyn.
Mhm.
Do you know if where they possibly are ascending could be heard through?
You mean those 2?
Yes.
I mean, the earrings still work while they're down there, so yeah.
Good, good. He's going to cast Sending to Matthew
Oh god.
Mhm.
with the following words. He does not say them out loud. The dog knows what they did.
He's mostly been silent.
Yeah. The thing is,
I
even
feel
then,
like
the dog does not have everything yet.
mid-conversation, Matthew like just stops. Kind of thinks for a second, like, how do I respond to that? Oh,
Well-
good.
Actually, real quick, slight amendment to that, because
Okay.
that's true. Amos is aware there's other things that he does not know.
Mhm.
The dog knows what I know that they did.
Oh, good. And that's gonna be literally the only response you get.
He'll take it.
Lucky no, they told Stryker what.
He is staying put, right?
Shreks.
That is a fair question. Lucky knows that is a fair question. Oh my gosh, anytime you've heard called Lucky and
There's
like,
a small communication between him and Owen. He is staying put, right? Okay, good. He is.
oh my gosh, that is such a fair question.
As long as he stays put until the traps are set, he's fine.
He is debating to leave, but he knows for a fact then he will definitely get yelled at.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm angry too, but you need to go back there.
And to be fair, he's also been told that Matthew is apparently planning on taking naps, taking care of some things, and at least making that one family member a guest.
Yeah. This is why he made the joke of, well, if Kreh has dibs, I have proxy dibs, so.
Sure.
I have dibs by proxy.
We'll see. That just means he has dibs on the rest of the family.
He's supposed to protect Kreh, which means he has to follow her orders, which means he gets to do things.
Oh.
Oh no.
Witness.
I can't.
This is the one witness you don't kill.
Well, technically you already had a witness because you had also requested that Aeren would help with this.
True.
Jack just didn't mention that part because he only talked to you.
This is fair.
You're not sure Aeren has the same feeling, so he didn't mention that part.
Fair.
That is fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Matthew. I will give it to the words that would be from Matthew. He's planning on not only stacking the deck, but finding a way to cheat the cards.
Yeah, Lucky made a comment saying I wouldn't put it past them to cheat.
So he's gonna cheat too.
Yeah.
That's cheating. I can just hear it said that way. I'm just like, oh. I'm both terrified and just like, oh, by that entire phrase.
It's fine. You don't target one at a time, you target a group.
Yeah.
No retaliation.
Oh.
Sip.
I mean,
But saying it necessary?
I
Yes.
mean,
Okay.
to be fair, you also don't know. You know, Lucky called in reinforcements, which was like Owen and Milv. You don't know if he's called anybody else.
Yeah.
No. It's fine.
He never specified who all he called.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And somebody has plane shift. Anyways,
What?
that makes you wonder, huh?
You know?
This plane shift in this world is amazing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, right? It's like
Yeah.
instant fast travel. Holy crap.
Mhm.
I need to get my hands on that.
Everything is okay.
It's fine. I have planar binding I can take.
You know?
You can bind a celestial fiend or an elemental to your surface. It just requires a jewel worth 1,000 GP.
You know? Also, they're typing and I'm concerned. I am very concerned.
I'm sure it's fine.
Liar.
Am I?
We don't know until she
it's
hits
fine.
send.
I've hit send a couple times.
That's why I said I'm sure it's fine, because it wasn't to me. So to me, it's fine.
Concerned!
You know, you probably should be. Or should you not be?
Don't put me in this panic middle state. That's not a thing you want to put me in. That's never a place you want to
Well,
put me in.
I guess the question is, does anything else happen before everybody actually does go to bed? Because you guys were leaving, I think, in the morning this time. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You planned
Yeah,
it
we
like
are-
3 days
Yeah.
now.
We are leaving in the morning. We have done everything we have to. Nobody's leaving the house.
Fine.
We'll be leaving tomorrow.
I
Kreh's
might
ran out.
have
Fuck.
something, but it's conditional.
Conditional.
Oh.
If Kreh's bothered before the night's over.
No offense to Cam, but Zarvis is avoiding her, so he's not gonna bother.
Nah, Cam is actually going to go to her own room and leave them both alone. So, at some point, like when she
Well, she
feels
really
the buzz,
isn't Rin.
yeah, when the buzz starts hitting, she's probably going to head towards her room and like bid everybody goodnight because she's like, I'm getting to that point where I need to not be in company anymore.
Fair.
Cinder might be planning to sleep like outside in the main area again.
Is it fair? In which case, I'm good till morning.
Amos in her room.
I think. How many sending slots do I still have? Actually, hold on. I gotta check that first. Yeah, speaking of Elf Boy,
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Cam's going to send to Elf Boy because, yeah, we're being dumb
Okay.
and drunk and things.
Drunk tax stacks.
Yeah, pretty much.
We saw how well that worked out.
That's fine. Fair warning, I might be tipsy sending. Just wanted to make sure you were okay. We've had quite a few rough ones here.
Bad enough that you're calling out to me while drunk?
Gonna use another sending slot. I'm in Arcadia.
Oh.
Hey.
And you were gonna tell me this win?
Never.
Another sending. I have 2 slots left. I was going to tell you, got distracted by a few things, and didn't want to worry you while you're so far away.
Oh, Lord, guys.
I wish you had told me sooner. Define distraction.
Yes.
That's a loaded ass question.
I know it is.
It's a really loaded question. A another sending. Well, hard to explain in 25 words. Sum up, might have caused some problems, inter-party drama. Also, your mom seems okay. No, she knows you're alive. Sorry?
I guess that's good that she knows I'm alive. Right. There's like a pause for a bit,
Yeah.
and then you get ascending.
Right, they both haven't.
Yeah.
What exactly did you do to cause the drama this time?
I like how he assumes it was her that caused it.
He's not entirely wrong.
Oh no, I know he's not. I just think it's hilarious that he
assumes-
knows her that well.
No, it's more he assumes because she's drink calling him.
Yeah.
Fair, that
She's
is well.
drunk calling him right now. Upset. Checking
Yeah.
in.
I hit a
No, at least she's not yet to the territory of slurred sendings.
No, she's not there yet. Stuck my nose in where it didn't belong. Got involved a little too much with someone. Possibly hurt a couple of people. Don't know entire damage yet. We'll find out in the next few days.
From the sounds of it, it sounds like you stole someone's man.
And if I said you weren't entirely wrong.
Forget Mr. Steel Girl, this is Miss Steel Man.
Odds or evens, Cam?
I am in trouble. Odds.
That is evens. You don't get a response.
Oof. Now you've upset two men.
Yep. She's got one more slot.
I mean, to be fair, she gave back the ring and now she's selling him this.
Yeah. She'll cast another setting. You have every right to be upset about that. To be completely fair. Not even sure. I deserve either of you.
He's gonna use one because he would have kept count at that point.
Yeah.
Does he at least treat you right?
He did. Was keeping me safe from your family.
Guess you should wait and see where the wind takes you then.
I'm sorry. Probably doesn't mean much, but I am.
Double checking your spell slots because you didn't use any, but let me just make sure I'm not going over.
Yeah. Fair.
Fair response.
Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, you still got like 3.
There you go.
Get some rest. Clear your head. And think about it more when you're not as inebriated.
That's a fair point.
Keldror, use big word. Keldror make Jay brain hurt.
Yeah.
he's
And this coming from the wordy big guy.
It's not that he doesn't sound upset, but he's trying not to be upset with her, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll
fair.
continue in her response. Sorry, I shouldn't have done this while drunk. I was actually thinking about you when we got here.
That's sweet. Now go to bed. He just laughs.
Talk to you soon.
The last one, he'll say goodnight.
Yeah. She'll go crash.
Yeah.
Sending is such a spell to easily use up so many slots.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It
Oh,
really
yeah.
is.
Especially if you have a long conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the dice
It just seems to
might
be
have
like
decided.
a long distance. I want to talk with a person.
Yeah.
What did the dice decide?
There was one thing I was unsure about, but the dice decided to tell me. It's great.
Mm.
I'm concerned.
I am indeed concerned as well.
I like Colin and Mill take shifts to make sure nobody tries to leave.
Yeah.
I know there's traps, but I feel like he still would probably keep an eye out because of what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Almost his head is just down on the table, and Nubby's kind of curled up next to it.
Aww.
Right.
If I had
Kindling
this
might
tiny
be
mouse
up of-
picture.
I was actually thinking of Kindling sitting on top of like Cinder's head, just watching. Because last time Kindling blinked, people leave.
Oh.
You know,
I missed a step it now.
It will spit fire. It won't hurt, but it will spit it.
Okay, all I have to say is, ow.
That hurts tonight too.
Yeah.
Ow, what the
Mm.
heck?
That's the quote that comes in after that conversation with Keldor.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Wait, see where the wind takes you, Cam.
Yeah, she doesn't know at this point.
I Okay, that's a weird progression.
I'm sure you'll find whoever you're looking for. I turn and get hit with a banana in the face.
Drag had his
Don't
swoosh
wanna
banana
go to
as a
Quran.
picture.
Right. Oh god.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scoosh banana. Long may it live in my heart.
Do I need to buy you another scoosh?
I'll find another one eventually. It's just those things were not built to last. And to be
With
honest,
how
I'm
much
weirdly
you
fun to
played
squeeze
with
other
it?
little Orbeez out of it.
With how much you
Oh
played
my.
with it, no wonder why. This conversation out of context can be taken in so many ways.
Well, you
That's
see,
fine.
according to the Catholic Church,
Drag no bad.
Well, you're not
Oh,
blind,
palms
so
are very
clearly
fuzzy.
you're not
So-
blind.
What did the dice decide? Did that ever get said?
No.
All right. Would you say it's roughly nighttime unless someone else's stuff?
I mean, nobody on NPC end is doing anything.
Mhm.
Sweet. So at some point in the night, Kreh's just gonna walk out of her room, and then walk in to check on Aeren.
Oh.
To those awake and paying attention, yeah, she may have a new haircut now. It's fine.
I feel like the striker just watched her. Alwood probably did a double take.
Yeah.
You know what? Can't like follows.
Oh no,
You know, that's weirdly okay.
he's so cute.
Is she crouching in the corner, or is she in a separate room here?
She's in a separate room.
Alright.
Yeah. There's just only so much space on here.
I rolled for him. He is still knocked out.
That is fair. Hmm.
A little worse for wear, but it's fine.
Yeah, you know.
Someone's
least
not
it's
gonna be
babies.
happy their pets are dead.
Yeah, that asshole can get over it. Besides, if I remember right, he's a little tied up at the moment.
Yeah. He also kind of locked him in an anti-magic room, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's
Now, a question for you, Fox.
Yes.
Would you say the for that one thing to come up that would be an int check?
For her to remember it?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet. Oh. Okay, that's much higher than I expected it to be. So that's a 23.
Yeah, she would remember it.
Right.
There may have been things that were not mentioned that could possibly show that that people in this house are involved.
Yeah. Everyone else, she's gonna be in there maybe like a couple minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, shit. And because she knows he would be awake, she will knock on his door.
He'll answer it?
Okay, so very important question.
Yeah.
How's your medical training?
Oh dear.
Decent? Why?
Aeren has something tracking him in his neck, and we need to get it the fuck out.
Yeah, Kreh knew about this and never said anything.
And shit happened. A lot of things. She has a nice haircut, by the way.
Okay. Why and wait. Okay, this first, then I'll ask about that. It kind of points to her hair.
Can we just?
Yeah, it's fine.
She's following the one that disappeared.
It's fine. I'm breaking services because her medicine's a 1.
Owen makes mental note of the thing to tell Matthew in
For
the morning.
Question:
Huh?
how quiet was that being?
A good question.
She was kind of in a. She was not loud, but it was kind of the weird, quiet. Oh fuck moment. So the typical.
Like the attempting to whisper, but you're in a okay. I need to get this said quick. We need to get over here.
Low conversation voice, not whisper.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That was something that's been around for a day.
I just want to first just
Yeah.
take this. Give me
Yeah.
a moment.
Again, a lot of shit going on with Kreh.
I'm gonna roll something at disadvantage real quick.
Good
I
thing
feel
we're
like
leaving in the
Stryker
morning.
would like listen to this and then just immediately put his
Oh.
head down and just covered his face with balls. Like, ugh.
Let me do a disadvantage for perception.
I just.
He might be pretending to be asleep and just watching the door now.
Everything is okay.
I'm sure it's fine.
What is Harvest's medicine?
Let me double check. +9.
Okay, so if I can give advantage to that, I would love to. Because I only have a 1.
He's got proficiency in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have the
Kreh's here to
23.
stabilize them because, we're effectively about to stab into this dude's neck.
If you're doing it right with a medicine check, it's fine.
She's there just in case because, shit happens.
She's
Shit happens a lot.
She's given the painkiller, basically. Got it.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, no, that's a 23. He eventually probably gets it out. I think like just a normal little tracking chip type of thing. Some type.
Sweet. So that can go in her bag of holding, right?
Sure.
Sweet. The tracking chip is now technically on a separate plane of existence.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna confuse those poor people horribly.
No.
Oh.
If they knew the last location.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm hoping they don't. I'm expecting they do.
Remember
Yeah.
how I said we were leaving in the morning? Why do I have the strangest gosh darn feeling we're not leaving in the morning?
We're leaving in the morning.
It's probably a good idea to get the fuck out of here. I'm just saying.
I'm sure it's fine. You guys have the thing to teleport away. The others just
Yep.
will be behind.
We do, and Cinder has that, I believe, because yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah.
because they might know the last location doesn't mean they're acting right now.
If you're waiting.
Yeah. I'm just kind of
That's-
hoping the one person that didn't know is actively tied up in the moment for possibly a couple days. Who knows?
Who knows?
They may have already
been
found it
making-
for all I know.
I've been making background rolls.
I don't like that.
Sweet. Sipping intensifies.
I'm gonna have to ask you
Casual
to stop
and
making the
blatant
technicals.
Fluffy's earlier mentioning.
I rarely meet a cleric that has not put proficiency in medicine. It's not a
Oh,
very
yeah.
common. If they're like a war cleric, I could see that, but most clerics I see have proficiency in it.
Yeah.
Just because if they run out of spells, they can use that to stabilize instead.
I don't know if my one cleric does.
But-
Yeah.
He's a different
So,
breed,
yeah.
though.
Yeah. With that said and done, Kreh will not actively look greatly concerned at the moment.
So why did you cut your hair?
Felt like it.
And I have to comment out of character here. Me and Aspire are probably like, yeah, that sounds about right. When a girl's upset, we do things to our hair.
My hairdo was.
And when you hit a certain point of depression, you cut your hair or something. Or diet or something.
This was months of quarantine. This was months of quarantine.
Yeah, you know. Yep, she's just gonna take a breath. I owe you an apology.
Why is that?
I didn't need to be... I didn't have to be so bitchy when you got the news. I get you had your reasons, and
Your father was more
I'm guessing you
concerned
weren't
about...
exactly.
Your father
what?
was more concerned about your health. Which is why he asked us not to say anything. He didn't want you stressing over it.
I guess I can get that.
Well, now that you know, please do me a favor and try not to put yourself into danger every time.
Considering my biggest thing was about it was realizing how much danger I'd been in since then. Trust me. I'll do what I can. And... yeah,
like-
you know.
Heading kindling or something.
And I'll give you this. If I figure out it's yours, I'm not expecting you to... I'm not expecting marriage or anything.
Sorry,
Listen, brain can't word good.
No, I was laughing with Fluffy type. That was my bad for not being muted. It's also confuses where part of Kreh's head went.
It's all going through where her hair used to be, back and forth around her neck.
Yeah. It's
You
fine,
said it
it's
was
just
like
nice
a
stylish bob now.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
bob cut now.
Yeah. Perfect for hood wear and also less distinguishing features behind a mask. It's great.
All I ask is that if it's fine, you let me be part of your life still.
I had no intention of keeping it from anyone. Either way, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
What a fucking week.
Yeah. Dragging this one along with us, huh?
Sure as hell not gonna leave him here. Well, unless he chooses so, but I did offer him a life on the seas.
Might be better for him. At least be away from town. What did you realize, Fluffy?
It's
I may have
fine,
also
man.
just realized the
Might
same.
figure a way to stack a deck.
Oh no.
See, I just realized something.
Hmm.
That item only transports 6 people.
Yeah, that's what I said. The others would have to be behind a bit, but these guys can all handle themselves too, to be fair.
Well, I was more thinking Amos, Cinder, Ignis, Kreh, Cam, Zarvis, Aeren.
Yeah, one of them's gonna have to stay behind.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, Aaron's got some secrets about himself, so it's fine.
You know, fair.
I believe only Kreh knows that he casts magic.
Yep.
But he carries around a sword. And wears armor.
Wait,
Fine.
I have a thought and I hate it, but it's not the point. Don't worry about it. I will keep this thought to myself.
You know, what is your thought? I'm curious now.
Give me one moment, because I want to make sure I get something correct here as far as about something.
You know, that
Maybe
is fair.
some type of magic caster that can use weapons.
And wear armor.
That's the part that's throwing me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of caster classes, to be fair, that can wear armor.
Okay, I'll be completely honest. He
I'll give
carries
you a
around.
hint, he's a multi-class.
Okay, what I was thinking, quite honestly, a blade singer. That's a wizard subclass. They gain proficiency with light armor and one type of one-handed melee weapon.
They do.
I hate that.
You know?
Okay, to be fair, the only reason I know that because I've been looking into possibility of creating one for another thing, and that is like one of the most badass wizard subclasses.
They also get to
me.
add their intelligence to their AC when they activate their
Yeah.
blood song. Their blade song.
Yeah. They're some of the most badass wizard subclasses. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine.
Oh wow, Amos. You want to make a roll to see what else he carried on him if you paid attention to that?
You know what?
Mhm.
Honestly, because see, now he'd be, because he was awake, as far as from the talking, because like I rolled perception with disadvantage, 18 and a 17 on the die, 22. So he would have been paying extra attention, especially after hearing something in his neck tracking him. He would have thought a moment and started taking stock of what else was on his body that could have possibly been used to track. So, what kind of roll do I need to make?
What would this have been for him? I would probably guess like a perception whenever he was standing around.
Okay.
Memory, maybe, or intelligence or something.
I could go with perception. I'm gonna roll this one.
He doesn't look like he'd be a magic user unless you paid close attention to his belongings.
That's a 14 on the die, 19.
19? You would have noticed a spell book. That he keeps on his person. Kind of carries it on the side a bit.
Amos just begins tapping the side of his bag while he's sitting there. Well, no, his bag is under his
Player
head.
knowledge,
First
he is
pillow.
at least 10 levels of Blade Singer Wizard.
Badass. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm actually nerding out on this because that is legit a badass fucking class.
He was meant to be a guard.
Yeah. So yeah, he's almost just gonna be laying there, head down. Like I said, he's pretending to be asleep, but his fingers
the
just
subclass
starts tapping the bag where his book is.
Yeah. The subclass made sense to me because it technically describes it as an elven thing that you get or that you learn. So it just made sense.
Oh, it's such a great class too. It's like you'd think that kind of subclass would be overpowered in a sense because wizard with weapon and ability to wear armor, but
And
no,
they
it's
get
actually
extra attack from that subclass too.
yeah, but it's actually very well balanced, but still, like I said, badass as hell.
It just makes a wizard a little less squishy and makes him more of a melee option.
Yes,
That's all it really does.
for when you run out. Yeah.
Because you can activate the thing to give yourself the AC boost anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the other 4 levels are. Anyways.
You know?
I appreciate that. I hate you. Continue.
Well, he had to be high enough level to at least cast Wall of Stone.
You know?
That is fair.
That's a 5th level spell, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What if I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Do you honestly see a future with me?
That is a loaded question.
Listen.
That is a very loaded question.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel Kreh would kind of realize this for a second. It's... I ask because I've been thinking about that on my end.
I did, but it'd be rude of wrong of me to lie to you and say I don't have some feelings for Cam now too.
I thought as much. Does she make you happy?
Yeah. Comforting being around her. I might have been a little harsh earlier when you ran off.
Fair enough. Aspire, question for you.
Answer?
Odds or evens?
Oh no!
Why are you asking me that?
Because it's weirdly pertinent to you.
Evens?
Sweet. So that's a 6.
Okay.
Are the dice in my favor? What is happening?
We'll see about this. So mine is... How long have we been friends?
About 10 years.
So my thinking is for in those years before I left, I had a really dumb reason for leaving. Which, if I remember right, Kreh, I think Kreh actually somewhat told him in her confusing ass way
Yeah.
what that was.
Yeah, she did.
Which I still don't know if I actually have feelings for you or if it's just or if you're just a really good friend. As player thinks of how Kreh would word this next bit, it's fine.
Do you ever think that maybe you only love me like a friend?
Consider the possibility. Just never knew. Which is why the next thing I'm about to ask is gonna sound weird as hell.
Huh?
Well, if certain novel of books and shit have been an indication, apparently two people that love each other would feel a spark with a kiss. Would it be weird to try that and see if there's anything? Listen, this is Kreh Brain.
I would hear
Very
after
awkward thing
this.
to ask.
Yeah.
She knows how awkward it is.
Its intelligence is really low, isn't it?
I think it has a 10 intelligence.
Oh
It's like average.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got it's got 13 intelligence. It's
Oh,
actually
so it actually
decent
knows
intelligence.
what's going on.
Yeah, it learns.
As much as I'd like to offer you some clarification on that. I don't want to hurt her either.
Good.
She'll let Kreh will think for a moment. Actually, kind of smile a little bit.
He won't remember this.
Come on.
So it's comforting to be around here, and you clearly care for her.
If you ever need anything, you can always come to me.
Of course. Just do me one favor.
Alright?
If you end up being with her, just promise we can remain friends.
You always hold a place in my heart.
Yeah, fuck it.
Mhm.
She's going to give you a side hug.
Aww. You will return the hug.
In which case, I have
This is
no
when we
qualms
start.
about you two.
This is when we start the next so much friends that they're basically brother and sister thing, like Lucky and Rin would. Because they didn't end up together, that's what ended up happening.
You know?
Look, we did joke when the alternate universe thing happened. Rin made the joke that there was a possibility of them and
Oh,
ending up together
even Lucky
somewhere.
agreed with that. Like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm sure if I didn't meet my wife and she didn't meet her husband, we probably would have ended up together.
You know?
It just worked. If it wasn't for Sirius and Striker, things would have been so different.
It would have.
Yeah, yeah. And this is the part was going like, okay, now how the fuck would Kreh word her basically giving the okay, you two be happy. I'm okay with this. How does Kreh give blessing? That was an attempt.
I must say something real quick out of character and out of
Shoot.
game.
Hmm?
As a DM of the game where the world is like separate universes shoved together, DM was taking notes when the whole Lucky Rin thing was mentioned.
You know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this
that
is
was
like
like, wow.
pieces of different worlds put together, so...
Yes, it is terrifying.
Only one version of everybody came here because I didn't want to make it that complicated.
You know?
I'm a
that is fair.
complicated person. My brain is a mishmash of what the fuck.
But yeah. Kreh will like go ahead. Yeah, if you want to go to her, I'll be okay in here. Just gonna make sure he's alright.
Don't break too many more hearts. You pat her on the head.
I can attempt.
Be careful, it's easy to fall for you. He'll just walk out with that. He's not gonna go in the room, but he is gonna sit outside Cam's door.
This is fine.
Did he shut the door to the room, Aeren and Kreh?
Yep. He probably was kind of like chuckling himself when he left.
That went well.
Yeah. I think we figured things out finally.
Good. Now things should hopefully be a little bit easier so we don't get fucking killed.
You know, that's a good point. I would rather not die again.
As someone who has almost died, I'd prefer not to experience the real thing.
It's interesting.
I'd also prefer not to hear about the other side.
Fair enough.
Not quite looking forward to that.
I will wait till you're old.
See, there's a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm half giant, half dragon.
Well, at least I know I won't be alone for too many years.
I still don't know how that's going to fucking work, by the way. That is out of character and in character. Because that is something that, oh god, oh god, that's confusing.
That's fine.
It's fine.
There's so many D&D. Make your rules for that kind of stuff easier. You're making everything else easier. Make that
And then
easier.
And then there's if Amos does decide to hang out with Ace, there's always the possibility that he could live much longer.
A half giant dragon.
To be fair, Lucky also has this weird immortality serum he made for himself and Matthew. It's fine. I was talking to Drag about that earlier, and I made a comment of like, yeah, I'm pretty sure even if he kept that a secret, Xander eventually would be like, okay, dude, what the fuck?
Imagine though, guys. Amos becomes immortal. How much time do you think it would take for Wizard to get almost all the information he could? Fuck everything up.
Probably not as long as you think with the right sources.
You're right though.
But I also made the joke of, well, shit, Lucky is a vampire. Or, Lucky is a human that has the immortality thing going. Xander's technically a Dampier now, and then Ace is a vampire. The progression between the three is hilarious when you put it to perspective.
Yeah. Also, Spire, don't give me ideas.
Hey, to be fair, it is very possible for a player character to become a god if a DM allows it.
I think I said don't give me ideas.
Have you not heard the story of the Great Dwayne?
This is when
A
I
rock?
get you guys to level 20 and I make you guys a level 20 and on campaign.
You know?
Yes.
You know.
That's for that campaign.
On another note there, Zarvis, though. Our little friend has a little bit more going for him than he's letting on. He sits up and taps on his bag where his spellbook is. He can do the thing I can do. But better, because he can also smack things much better than me.
They're saying he's both smart and strong.
Indeed.
That's actually kind of a terrifying thought of how he is. Very quiet
Very much
individual.
so. Very much so. But also an invaluable ally.
And it is fair.
But I agree. We need to get him away from here. There's just one problem. How long has he been here? In this building, I mean.
Most of the day.
How long has that thing been in his neck?
If I had to assume before he came here.
Unless for some reason they're not keeping track of their toys. And he does the air quote toys. They know where he is. Or was.
Yeah, she may have put that in her bag of holding, so tracking will be kind of impossible while it's in there.
Oh, trust me, the tracking, yeah. But where it disappeared from is another story.
And I know his last location.
Before we leave in the morning, we'll have to let Lucky and Matthew know. Because he looks over at Alwyn, because he knows
Who just
Alwyn's awake.
flips a page in the book. Already gonna tell him.
Thank you. Matthew, you might want to send a few extra traps before y'all leave.
Most likely. I could put down a few spell traps.
Also fair. Probably. Well, anyways, I'm gonna get back to sleep. If for some reason something gets fucked up before I awaken, wake me the fuck up.
Will do. Stood at the other door.
Fair.
You know?
Like, damn it, you keep moving on me.
You know,
Don't worry, Kindling's still staring at Kreh.
Oh my god. It's a tiny fire dragon version of Fuzzy.
What is Kreh
Presence.
doing? Is she just staying awake, or what's she doing in there?
she will eventually crash.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, going, that entire encounter was a weird relief to her, so eventually is sooner rather than later. So she's probably going to crash, like, kind of, like, propped up in the chair somehow. Or
Fair.
whatever she was sitting on.
It stares at the sleeping Kreh.
Yeah.
Her almost also
Kindling
falls asleep.
be 100% sure Kreh will not randomly disapprove.
Yes.
We'll give you that same expression when you said the same thing before. It's like,
You know,
the fuck?
I just picture this dragon being this little itty bitty phoenix dragon thingy. Looking at Kreh, listening to that conversation, and then like picturing Cinder also listening to the same conversation, just being confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the tiny little elemental is smarter than that stuff, then I'm sorry.
On the bright
It's
side,
fine. It was
that is
influenced by
there is-
2 people for a bit.
yeah. On the bright side, Kreh is relieved to have to think about one less thing.
That's fair.
To be fair, Amos is in the same boat with her because
Kreh has some interesting things that she didn't mention.
oh god,
Oh, the other reason why she wants to take him with her, but that's not the point.
It's fine.
See,
We were
I'm
get rid
just
of one
relieved
thing
that-
at 10.
yep,
Yep,
exactly.
that's how it works. It's like amnesia
He's-
dust.
What's amnesia does do again?
And that's what it
Oh, I
does.
forgot.
That's what does.
Exactly.
What?
Yep. It's fine. It's not that big a problem.
As I, short-term amnesia.
What, amnesia man?
Amnesia.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Amnesia. Huh. Not amnesia, amnesia.
I can read
Amnesia.
the English.
Amnesia, the non-magic user's word for modified memory.
Does kindling even sleep?
Technically, no, it does not.
Oh.
Because element.
Huh?
Sweet. So I have a confused fire thing just staring at me all night. Yes.
Yep. It does not stop. Unless something happens, it will not stop staring at Kreh.
You know. Dude, one thing I'm happy about that is his reaction to it was more effective than it would have been. The kiss would have been itself. To her.
It's just like I didn't understand what you were doing. I was like, what? Confused.
Yeah. Kreh didn't fully understand either. All I know is she is happy with the outcome. Strangely, it's weird.
That's fine.
Well,
Nothing,
it's-
nothing
I asked
incredibly
for
awkward
reasons.
actually happened.
I asked for reasons. Don't worry about it.
No, it's fine.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I'm good here.
Okay. So Matthew's getting up early, huh?
Yep.
Today's a big day. Today's a big day.
Probably attempts to get Lucky out of bed, who just hides under a blanket.
He probably takes the pill and like chucks at him.
No, fuck you. I'm going back to sleep.
I'll be out eventually. Oh, there might be a bit of a problem.
Oh.
Turns out he had a tracking device on him.
Aeren.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been here for a while, so they know his hairs have been removed.
Yeah. Somebody might have come out of her room in a panic and went and got that one over there to get it out.
I assume it can no longer be tracked. He looks back at Zarvis.
It's in a bag of holding.
This is good news.
You get the feeling she didn't want to destroy it, or in case we either wanted to use it or she wanted to look at it.
Well, now we know one thing. They'll eventually want to come here. Lucky.
Half asleep.
How attached are you to this house?
That's not a good question.
They apparently had been tracking Aeren. And this is the last known location before Tracker went away. Which means he's technically at the moment, even if he's not here, bait. And this could be a roach motel.
Right. Do I have time to at least get my stuff out, or...
Oh yeah. Don't worry, and don't ask. I've always been ready for this moment.
Why would I
wa-
not be surprised that Matthew would actually be ready for this exact scenario?
Of someone trying to come into the house to get them, and then like
Yes.
it's in the house as a trap.
The house has like fucking explosives underneath that have been sitting there since it was built.
This whole place might decide to go up if he wants it to.
Honey,
Yes.
what have you done to the house?
To be fair, this was done much earlier. Let's say if, you know, you or I were being hunted, we could sneak out of here. They came in here during the day trying to get us off unawares, and they wouldn't survive. Neither would the house. And maybe not the neighbors' houses. Maybe.
I need
I haven't
coffee.
planned to go up.
That's
It
called
is designed to
collateral.
blow straight up.
That's called collateral damage.
He just gets up. I'm gonna get coffee and start packing shit.
By the way, Amos was actually waking up as he said that.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
collateral
jeez.
damage.
He's found a way to maybe cheat him a little bit.
Hey, there you go.
See, Lucky is. I feel like he's got like 4 bags of holdings for just in case, too, because like he's not surprised, but he's also surprised. Like, okay, let me get my notes. Hold on.
Now the key is to make him think that we left Aeren here to go on our little excursion.
This is why he's only grabbing his notes. He can fit a lot of books in those bags.
You know.
Got 200 years worth of notes, man. He needs all.
That's fair. I'm just trying to figure out how to get Aeren out of the building and out of town without arousing suspicion.
Do we want to give them some other way to contact us besides the sending?
Oh, you mean the things that are always being listened to?
At least while we're doing this.
Seems like a good idea to me. Trinket.
Yeah.
Owen brought up a good point. While we're doing this, maybe we have a easier way of contacting these people?
I think I've got a couple extras somewhere.
You know, I don't.
There you go.
You know, I'd offer to take one. It might clash with my other one.
This is fair.
So I rolled. He has 4 that he can distribute, basically.
Fair.
Although you don't need to attune to it, so technically they can be passed around too.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it was a very simple because it itself does not do as much. It is amplified by the base.
Yeah, being able to send. I feel like Alwyn's probably explaining to Amos and Zarvis at the moment what they do fully, like that you could send images and things like that, and how they work. And they're not quite as limited.
On second thought, I may take one of those. That'll be much easier than have to cast a major image to show people what the fuck I'm talking about.
Fair.
Very fair. I like to donate to attune them, so if you want, you can switch them around if you find someone's more better suited for one.
Or as player just realize, oh my god, I don't have to prep major image anymore.
Yeah.
Except in emergency situations.
How do we disguise a fox person?
By changing them into a normal person.
Might require some surgery. Oh, you mean magically? Got it. Or through disguising our means. Right.
He just touches the side of his nose.
Okay.
On the nose.
I mean,
On the nose, crazy.
Also a wizard. Ask if he has anything.
That's also true.
True. Is he still in that room? I can go check. I can go ask.
Yeah, I think he's in there with Kreh right now. Striker probably looks up as soon as Matthew walks up. What are you doing?
Hi. Talking to a person that's in that room.
I think they're still asleep.
They're not about to be if he has his way.
If they're not awake, then I will wait. But this does involve his life.
There. Kind of step aside.
He will quietly open the door just to make sure. He doesn't want to wake them if they're not awake.
Kreh's out is going to take a while. It's going to take a decent bit to actually get her up.
Oh,
though.
yeah,
She did
no,
not
he's-
crash till late.
Yeah, he's still asleep. Probably not much longer, but he is still asleep.
He looks at the kindling who is staring at Fire thing, let me know when they're awake. It chirps. Because it can't understand any language Ignis or Cinder understands.
Yeah.
It just can't talk. Alright. He looks at Striker and goes, just so you know, in case you didn't hear it, the idea is to use his previous known location as bait.
Why does that not surprise me?
Because it's me.
You did like your explosions.
And I did love preparing for everything. I'll just kind of lean at the corner waiting.
Fair. It eventually comes back out with this couple of bags.
I think Cinder will eventually wake up and kind of... groggily sit.
Out of character, you know how hard it is to figure out, okay, we're going to hell. What spells do I prepare?
That
Probably not
Cinder-
fire.
Oh, I mean...
what are you talking about? I can torch demons just fine.
Fuck
This is
you,
actually fairly
David!
simple. That's actually fairly simple for Amos. No fire? Okay.
Cinder has fire spells she cannot unprep.
Okay, look, that's understandable.
That is fair.
It does not let me. Though I do have lightning and confusion.
I'll make his token a little smaller just because it's such a big picture.
Jean.
That is fair.
Confusion's a bullshit spell.
And he's shorter anyways, so.
Con-
That is true.
Fair.
But what about confusion? That cuts down the population of prisons.
I have no response.
I'm still fluffy.
I
I wonder which one of these ones we're gonna get up first.
Definitely not creation. Crash.
Initiative. roll initiative. See which one who gets up first of all the four there.
You know, I roll mine at disadvantage because I did get drunk the night before. Or just
You were
normal because-
buzzed. You were
Yeah.
not like
Fair.
passing out drunk.
That's a good point. All right. That's 16.
Oh, so 15 for Aeren.
Yeah, that was a 19 on Kreh's end, even with a disadvantage I imposed on myself for crashing so fucking late.
Jesus.
Yeah, Kreh's alive.
Oh yeah.
It makes sense Ignis not used to waking up by herself.
Yeah.
You know?
So Kreh's first one awake.
I'm assuming she notices this thing that's still staring at.
You open
staring
your
at her.
eyes, and there's currently a little fire elemental staring at you.
Well, I'm about an inch or two from your face.
Good work, little one. Good work. Still booping on its snoot.
He'll jump to the door and kind of look at you and look at the other one.
Okay. She will get up and open the door for it.
He'll just stare at the open door and still stare at Aeren because it was told when both of them would awake to let the guy know.
She could technically wake him up.
Yeah, but does she want to, though? She will give him 5 more minutes.
Fair.
It'll just start staring at Aeren now.
Oh.
It's giving Aeren more space because it does not know Aeren.
That is fair. Not in his face. To be fair, the last thing he remembers is he was locked up, so...
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
and okay, I feel if I wake him up early, there will be problems, so he is getting 5 more minutes.
Fine.
And Kreh will casually close the door again until Aeren wakes up. Because I feel that would be awkward.
I guess the next person is technically Cam.
I guess, yeah. She'll just kind of wake up and wander out. Morning.
So, don't leave anything behind.
What?
He's
won't
gonna
be.
explode the place.
What? What happened when I went to sleep?
Let's see. Apparently, they tracked their belonging. Tracker's no longer in them, but this is the last place it would have been tracked to for about a day-ish. So we're gonna use that as bait.
Right. Good thing I keep all of my stuff in a bag.
Cinder looks like worried.
I know, because they had told Cinder.
Out of curiosity, anything you would like to tell Keljor about his family dying?
Well, I'll have to worry about that later. I may have sent him a message last night, and that went interestingly.
Ah, beautiful. As you were drinking.
It's fine. Forgot to tell him I was in Arcadia. That's fine.
Caljo.
Was the only, well, he was one of the, children of the guard captain. Probably was listed as dead.
Hmm.
He ran away to be a pirate.
Yeah.
I like him. I always wanted to be a pirate one day.
Honey, you are a pirate,
And I'm like-
technically.
Yes. I also don't like the seas. Never know what's down there. Can hard to plan for it. Land's easier to plan on.
Right.
Odds or evens, Cam?
Huh?
Odds
Odds
or
or
evens?
evens?
Yeah.
I hate that. Why? Evens again. I don't know.
That's a 2. Zara's gonna offer you his hand.
She'll take it. Like a little like
Do you resist?
no.
He'll pull you into his lap.
Oh. She's a
Oh,
little
that looks fun.
surprised. She's gonna start talking in Celestial again. She doesn't know Lucky speaks it. I apparently missed a lot when I went to sleep. Because the last I remembered, we had an argument.
Yeah, you did miss a lot. Kreh and I made up.
Right,
I
that was
was
also a
not
thing.
asleep.
In Celestial.
I was not asleep
Oh,
that
that's-
long.
Fuck.
I'm glad. but I
Lucky is
wasn't
gonna
asleep
look
that
at
long.
both of them and
So
just
is Matthew.
smirk. So,
Uh,
you apparently were asleep pretty long then.
Oh,
Seems so.
good.
They're both responding.
Cam just does the facepalm thing of course. Of course they speak Celestial.
I forget why Matthew does. Lucky,
I
I
think
think,
it's purely because I'm lucky.
true. I remember. I don't
On top
remember.
of monk bullshit, I think.
I'm trying to
Luckily,
remember.
he can understand anyone's language because of monk bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's
anyone
right.
can
It was something
understand
he
it.
learned later.
Yeah.
Because he found out about his lineage.
Yeah.
Because technically he
feel like
only
he
spoke
learned-
Sylvan before and the
Oh,
other
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. I think the reason why Matthew learned it preemptively before was more because of it was one of the things that judge spoke.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, now that I think about it,
Hmm.
because that was one of its languages it knew.
Yeah.
Well, besides understanding every language, because bullshit.
Yeah, undercom is the thing they use when they don't want anyone else to fucking understand them.
Yeah, you know.
Because that is not a very common language at all.
No.
No.
That's
Dude,
really
I feel
only an
like-
Underdark language.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
even think anybody in the party had spoken that language, and I think that was part of the reason. Because even Ronnie
only-
knew Celestial.
The only other person who did technically both Ace and Cinder speak it,
Mm-hmm.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might have been one of the reasons why he used undercommon in some of the notes.
Yeah. technically there is one other person who speaks it, but damn. That might be because he was once a drow.
Oh.
Huh?
Technically not a drow
Anyways.
anymore.
No.
You know?
But it's why he's blue. It's fun making
So
those
appa-
characters.
You know? So apparently they speak Celestial.
Yeah.
Matthew's not gonna let them know that he understands pretty much any language.
You fucking monk.
So you and Kreh made up.
Mm-hmm.
And that equates to this?
I think we came to an understanding. He smiles.
Good.
And as I told Zarvis, good, because now we can all focus on not dying.
I will agree on that.
I like not dying.
And you are
Same.
not dying again. Points, like, poke Zarvis in the chest, like, no.
That was another part of that conversation.
Look here, Iswahan. I can agree, death is not fun. Don't question that.
Almost kind of cringes.
Matthew reasons.
You know?
Sometimes not dying is worse.
Oh yeah, no, he's got stories of much worse than death.
Right. So, when are we leaving? Because if that was a tracker and everything like that, I'm not necessarily sure we want to be staying here.
To be fair, they're not gonna do anything more all here. They're gonna wait until they think we leave him behind.
Mhm.
Alright.
Because they're more than likely not gonna want to tangle up as many people because it's more of a confrontation. Bad for face. But as soon as everyone's awake, we can get ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I thought about it and I was like, oh, well, Kreh basically gave her approval. Now he's not as embarrassed to be so lovey-dovey with her anymore.
Cam ain't mad.
That's fine. Cinder's just
You didn't want to hurt Kreh's feelings, man.
Yeah. I mean, probably after they spoke and he explained, she probably just kind of draped an arm back over his neck so she could be a little bit more stable.
Fair.
Because she was like, hold on, do I need to be here? Do I not need to be here? What's happening?
So whenever this one wakes up, he's confused, and then he probably reaches down and then boops the little fire elemental on the nose.
just starts poofing fire up and happy chirping.
Yeah, they do that.
Where are we?
Morning. Back at Matthew's place, Lucky's place, their place.
Those two work fast.
They had a little bit of assistance from Amos's friends. It was actually mostly them, if I remember right. Oh yeah, players remember. Yeah, they beat them there.
Operation Breakout Party.
Yeah, breakout
Breakout
parties,
party.
man. Interesting. Very interesting. How you holding up?
What day is it?
This is the day after?
Because he technically was like, he's been passed out since the night before.
Yeah. Craig gives date because player is not entirely sure.
Been about a day and a few hours.
about a day and a half, roughly.
Sweet. All right.
Between the nightfall time.
You know,
Okay. In which case, that is translated.
Oh shit. I think I've ever slept that long in my life.
Fair enough.
Just probably looks at the bird, which I think went back to the door.
Yep.
Looks to see if I have mage hand. Fuck. Snaps their
Fucking pointing at
fingers
the
and
door
goes snaps their fingers and mage hands the door open because lazy.
As the door begins to open, Amos looks over at Cam. Oh, right. Cam and Cinder. You're not going to recognize something. Well, you'll notice something. Don't be alarmed.
when you say don't be alarmed, I suddenly get concerned.
You'll be fine. And he was referencing the haircut, by the way.
That is fair.
It's like,
Yeah.
right. That
I
was
feel
a
like
thing.
I feel like Zara's just gonna wait till they notice it.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's why he's not specifying what it is.
You like nudged Matthew like,
Mhm.
I did it.
I did the good.
Yeah.
I did the thing.
So
I
he
feel
will
Craig kind of left the door open, so
peek his head in. Oh, you're
need
awake.
something.
That's good. Well, question, Aeren.
Uh-huh.
Can you hide your appearance at all?
I can go invisible.
That'll work. Kreh had Zarvis remove something from you?
Right. And kind of rubs his neck.
Which means
the
this is the
pain in
last
world.
place they would have known where it was. So we're gonna use that as a bait.
I don't want to know, do I?
Well, don't leave anything here, because it won't be here. Neither will here.
Right. Also about that, were you wanting the chip, or do I just hold
I
on
say
to
keep
it?
it. We can never. I say keep it hidden. Personally, for now,
Fair enough.
because if we all of a sudden it reappears here, they're gonna be suspicious.
Noted.
Can always dispose of it later somewhere else, or just drop it in the ocean.
Apparently I wasn't supposed to know about it, but the arrogant one decided to say something.
Which was the arrogant one again? Blue hair?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I'm hoping he doesn't fall into this trap. I need to make a house guest of him.
Oh really?
He looks at you and just smiles.
Noted.
I really like him. I figure I should bring him tea.
Oh no.
Noted.
Play a deck of cards. See who faults.
That sounds more intimidating than it should.
I think that's the
Welcome
point.
to my.
I know.
I feel like
It's so
Aeren is
beautifully
just
worded.
staring at him.
And the worst part is he's probably got this like happy-go-lucky smile on his face.
Yeah.
Guessing you spoke with Jack.
He may have let a few things slip.
Sweet, so I don't have to explain this.
So far as I'm aware, only me and the big guy are aware of it. I don't think the two heard it. The one, two, there are two now.
Good to know.
It'll take time, but I think this might be a way of tipping our hand in our favor. Key is getting
Slow.
you out of here unseen.
Mhm.
I can cast the spell a few times if need be.
Yep, we're gonna basically head out like we're doing our mission. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess it's time to test Ignale. Right. Everyone else out there?
Everyone but Ignis.
What?
Cinder's out there though. He's not gonna deliver it. He's gonna walk away.
Oh my
That was a lot Kreh did not
gosh! I don't
catch.
think Jarvis even knows.
No, Zarvis was in the room when they came back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He
So
doesn't
yeah.
seem.
He's
Oh
just
my
gotta get to stuff, which isn't much.
Out of character, you know how hard it was for me to not have Amos go. Alright, Kreh. Alright, wizard boy. Let's go.
The best part is about their house is you can't see in, but you can see out. Like you said before.
Sweet.
Two-way
I imagine
mirror.
that. Well, I imagine that makes sense when you said it before, Fox, because you can teleport where you can see,
Yeah.
and if you can't see,
Cam is actually going to
Like,
lean over and look at Cinder and go, how angry would she be if I went and just banged on her door?
she
Wait, what?
shrugs.
Right.
You realize she can hit you now, right?
So, Ignis and Cinder went and did something interesting yesterday.
uh-huh.
I think it'd be better for them to see it.
Well, hold on.
Fully understand.
Okay, if you wanted to cut your hair, all you had to do was ask.
Like I was like mid-conversation. Wait a minute. You did a thing. Oh no.
I
Oh,
imagine.
I think it looks nice.
I'm not saying it doesn't look nice, but. How are you both feeling?
Alright.
I'm better than I was. That was Aeren that said that her hair looks nice, by the way.
Yeah. Note made.
You know. Crow just nodded that.
It's fine.
Everything is fine.
I mean, it may not be a bad idea to knock on the door.
I'd rather not get a wallop on the head.
I can knock.
Might be safer.
You
Might be
might want to
safe.
be careful. I
I can dodge.
You might want to be careful. That's all I'm gonna say.
Because Cam has gone into, like, semi-sister mode at the moment, like the annoying sister type. When at this point,
It's
it's
gonna
just like,
Hardly depend on how it's knocked.
yeah.
It's fine.
Oh shit.
That's what I
Okay,
was
so the
talking.
decision remains,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That she never specified that to him.
yeah.
So before he goes, he's gonna put his arm around Kreh's waist and kind of motion for her to go sit down. And then he'll go.
Things
Okay, then.
slowly turn.
Almost makes
Okay,
a mental note.
So that I'm thinking it's going, okay, so that's a thought that hadn't crossed her mind, but now she's like, oh shit.
Yeah, almost makes a mental note.
Cam does the.
Might have got someone
fun.
else's interest.
Cam started like has this look on her face that she wanted to go for it, but like immediately stopped. Just didn't even go there.
Hey,
Zarvis gives you this look of like, told you not to break hearts.
Kreh is momentarily confused, but then she's like, oh, there's a slight look of realization. It's going like, she's just gonna go sit down now.
Hey, you told him a lot. You never specified that you were committed to anyone.
Yep.
I'm just gonna flip to a page in the spell book and just bookmark it as far as for casting when they're on the way.
Everything is fine. Kreh totally isn't like in the college experimentation phase.
Oh, Cam's gonna have to have a talk with her.
Yep, I'm expecting it. This is gonna be interesting.
Okay. Obviously we need to have a discussion about how this works, because
If it means anything, he also helped her realize the thing that led to what happened last night, and everything's okay now.
hey,
Yeah, he was.
Cam and Kreh still need to make up semi.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, it's fine.
He goes to the door, but he kind of bangs on it.
And he's had to wake up bratty nobles probably for years. That's
Oh,
what
yeah!
he does.
Oh yeah, that would.
There's motion. She opens the door and just stares.
Morning. Just motions behind him.
She tilts her head and goes, "You're lucky you were injured."
Told you.
I'm sure I could dodge one of
You're
your
not
hits.
injured.
Which is why I didn't knock.
I have any suggestions?
Ah,
Sup?
goes and stands nearby Kreh. It's fine. Leans against the wall. She might have technically hired him. She
Well
didn't
done.
mention that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good. Well done. Yep. Good job.
Alright. Plan is normal. We leave. Make it seem like we leave our friend here to recuperate, to watch over the house. Lock the door. And I might, at some point, arm the place. Our friend here can cast invisibility on themselves, so that'll help.
Alright.
Oh, we also have... How many of those earrings?
4.
That way we can communicate a little bit better, at least while this whole thing's going on.
Fair.
They don't require any attuning, just images, full descriptive, telepathic as long as you're within 100 feet. I always need to say it out loud. While saying it out loud, it'll pick up anything else around you, so if you're talking to somebody, they can hear it too. It's all recorded.
So careful what you say is the warning.
Eh. There's a lot always recorded. I don't think they're going to go through all of it. Not unless you say something like, "Oh, we're going to destroy the world." Something to flag it, essentially.
How many times have you said that jokingly and they've actually shown up here?
So, anyways, we should keep going. Oh, he's ignoring that question.
Because she's like, he has to know this for a reason, and the reason is probably because he tested which ones get flagged.
Doubt it.
So I was talking about my buddy about world domination, but I couldn't figure out the plans to my death ray.
Alright. So, we ready to go to hell again?
Cinder nods.
It is about that time.
Alright. Yeah,
Shall
whoever wants to take the earrings, he'll put them out on the table.
Yeah, who should take them?
Definitely people who are very better at describing things. Or need
I'm
so,
out.
I
images
was about
better.
to say, not Kreh.
Actually, I feel like it might be better because she can just show an image instead of trying to describe it.
That's fair.
You know?
Yes.
Fair point, fair point.
Almost would refer to the party for the time being.
Yeah,
I mean,
Cam and
yeah,
Amos
Agnes is like,
have ways
no.
of messaging like short
Hmm.
range, or at least Cam has a way of messaging short range, and then Cam and Amos can message long range with sending, but that uses spell slots. But they do have ways of communication if things get kinky.
Kinky.
No,
I
I mean, player-wise, I would kind of lean toward Zarvis and Kreh at least having one.
Mm-hmm.
fair enough.
Definitely not Ignis.
no.
I will leave the
More
other two
for a
team.
short term, unless you guys decide you want to keep them later. Then you can always
Yeah.
get 2 more later on. This is just to keep in contact while you guys are inside, and if you separate.
Yeah.
We have two. We have 3 people left.
Hmm.
Amos said he didn't want one.
He said he would. Yeah,
And
he'll defer to the rest of the party. If the party doesn't want it, then he'll reluctantly
now-
take one.
Right now, only Zarvas and Kreh have one, so.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, fine. He has the
Yeah,
earring, though.
Cam apparently just doesn't want people to know what she's thinking. Which could be
No,
interesting when
that's-
they run into the other person. It's fine.
It's fine. It's more along the lines of like she doesn't necessarily need it. At the end of the day, she's just like, I've got ways of like sending things if absolutely necessary. If people
I
want
will
her to have
save
one,
spell slots just so I can use them on this.
it's fine. That's a good point. That is a good heckin' point.
I mean, he's not making anyone take. If nobody else wants one, he's not gonna bother. He'll just take them back to that on the table. So.
To be fair, and I just thought of this, because the way Druid shapes work is the equipment can still be attached,
Mhm.
or it can be absorbed into. So technically, she could talk to people with that to have those earrings while in a wild shape. I just realized
Mhm.
that.
I feel like Alwyn might actually explain that to you.
Yeah, she would, and then she would probably take one. Just didn't.
Because that's
'Cause-
probably what he's done a few times.
Yeah.
Technically, there is also Striker, which I'm sure there's a way to
Mhm.
put it on his person somewhere.
We can't hear you, Drag. No.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Back? Maybe? Potentially? You are not lighting up at all.
No, you're not.
Uh-oh. Something did a bork. Oh, jeez. Check your settings. Quickly.
Uh-oh. Rip.
Please hold while we, take care of technical difficulties.
So or nothing.
Here.
You might have a full-on die.
What the heck?
Okay, I think I'm back. Hi, what I missed.
There you go.
Hello.
He's here! He did it.
Got it.
It was
Okay.
a thing. It was everything went silent, then it disconnected me, and then it tried to connect, and it set at connecting for 2 minutes or a minute and a half. Time is weird.
Jay, if we want, we can pass the earring back between Amos and Cam, depending
Yes,
on
okay.
depending on things. That way, because number one, they both have ways of communicating.
yeah.
Cam has an easier way of communicating short range, at least within party stuff,
Mhm.
because they're rarely out of 30 feet of each other. But if they
And
need
that's a
to
fair thing,
communicate,
too.
Isn't message 100-foot range?
I can't ever remember. It's always like
I think message is 100 foot, and you have to be looking in their direction.
Yeah, you have to know what direction they are.
yeah.
And the thing is, too, like with Striker, if we want him to sneak off, we can also hand him an earring, so that way we can keep in touch with him, too.
Mm-hmm.
before
120
setting.
feet, by the way.
120 feet. Good to know. Thank you.
120 feet.
Forget. I can't ever.
So maybe the one that Kreh has can be between Kreh and Striker for now.
That is fair.
I think that seems fitting.
Everything is okay. Oh yeah. Kreh is as prepped as she can be at the moment.
Cinder's got her spells. Ignis doesn't have spells.
I'm awake.
Matthew.
Had my Cheerios.
What's
Just
Matthew's
picturing,
deception again?
just picturing Cam
Right.
having Cheerios. Well,
Just
sitting in Zarvis's lap too. On top.
Oh yeah.
I just realized Matthew might make a bit of a show of things with his 17 deception.
Oh
Oh,
no.
good.
You know, gotta make it believable. Tell a person
Actually-
not to go in the basement.
Actually, I take back what I said as far about that happening after they left the city. He would have actually sat there and did that.
Okay.
Right, she wouldn't be prepping this today. She'll be prepping that. Okay.
What I typed in chat still stands.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, what?
Player, the DM understands why Amos did that.
Mm-hmm.
Concern.
That's fair.
And I'll type it to you, Fox. Just to clarify that, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. We got
Yep.
so we're on the same page.
Oh no.
It's
You're
fine.
100% on the same page of why you did that. Okay.
I'm concerned.
It's not really a concern. It's more of, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's sweet.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of sweet at the same
Aw.
time.
Hmm.
And if we're there long enough, I'm going to go ahead and use Arcane Recovery to recover one of those.
I'm sure you guys are probably, while everybody's like getting ready to go and eating and stuff and gathering things.
Mhm.
I'm sure you have time to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that.
Eat before we go, because
Yeah.
It's a travel. Yeah, it's quite the travel because
There
you're
we go.
going a distance.
What was
Mm-hmm.
what was the range on that item again, Fluffy?
It was 1,000 something.
It was. I think it was,
Was it
like
1,000
1,000
miles?
miles. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I remember, right?
Yeah.
I have it written down. Yep, 1,000 miles.
Okay. I can remember the measurement of distance with miles, but I couldn't remember how far. That's the only part I was.
She's kind of wanting to save it in case
It's
she
not
needs to get
a
out.
super far travel because they're not like terribly far from each
Yeah.
other, but it's still probably at least minimum 2 days
Yeah.
Mhm.
of a walk.
Especially on foot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And she has a good berry.
Mhm.
So food's an issue.
You hungry? You want good berry? Have good berry.
It's fine.
Right. I should probably mention one thing. Lucky kind of speaks up. When we get there, while you guys are getting ready to sneak in, there might be a couple people on the inside getting ready to take care of any stragglers that don't leave the place.
Yeah.
Who do we need to be looking out for then? So we don't accidentally,
Oh no, it's fine. Don't worry. You'll be able to tell that they're friendly when they, attack a guard. Or don't shoot you.
Well-
That's fair, I suppose.
That's not always a great way of knowing that you're friends with someone, but I suppose?
Well, the logic seems sound to me.
To be fair, me as well.
As long as they're not trying to kill you, they're not an enemy.
Can you at least give a brief description? That way we know, okay, this is the person we know of. Hopefully they
yeah.
don't shoot at us.
And to be completely fair, there have been plenty of people who didn't want to kill me that are very much an enemy.
One's a shifter, two are twins.
Oh,
Good.
fellas.
To know?
Just thumbs up.
Good to know.
Amos
Like-
has an earring, right?
Yep.
I'll want to probably mention this since you showed that you saw all the group.
Mhm.
He's talking about a couple of the kids. You'll recognize them.
He just responds to all one. Understood.
Because there's only so many twins in that group.
Yeah, there were two
You
sets
know.
of them. One was like Crazy Chaos Boys, and then there was the first set.
Yeah.
It's the babies.
Matthew technically would probably know how they got there pretty quickly. One of them has plane shift
Yeah.
of that group that he described. So they might be a bit of a party themselves now.
Aww,
You
I'm so
know?
proud.
Matthew just smiles and probably looks over at Striker.
I really don't want to see my kids seeing me like this. He just kind of pouts. However the mechanical dog can pout, he pouts.
I have a very,
You know?
very odd request before we do leave.
Hmm?
Is there?
Hmm.
Do the earring to Lucky.
Mhm.
That's anyone else. I'll message you, Fox.
Oh, good. Secrets.
Says that
Fierce.
out loud and then does the earring.
Yep, I thought about it for a second.
Secrets.
What's in the box? Is it a secret box with a secret string that you pull to reveal a secret compartment?
Yes.
That is what he'll ask Lucky.
He'll probably give you like a direction that at least one there, I'm assuming, that you're asking about.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about 20 minutes, give or take, and he'll kind of point you in a direction.
He'll stand up. Look at you, Kreh. Do you mind if I borrow Striker for a little bit?
Good here for now. Have at it.
And Owen, can you come with me, please?
Sure.
Everybody else finished prepping everything. I have all of my stuff. We'll meet you. Which exit? To the city.
Which one's closer? Or is there only one?
Technically, there's only one entrance to the city.
Okay.
Which they would
We'll
be able
meet
to
you at
specify
the.
that.
We'll meet you at the entrance to the city.
All right. Be careful.
Right.
I'm concerned what's going on here.
Yeah, right? Like what?
He heard a statement.
Okay, to be fair, I was talking to Aspire about an alternative, and it's gonna be even funnier if this ends up being the alternative.
You know.
Don't worry. Amos has a habit of helping people and understanding as far as if they don't want something or if they prefer something else happen. And he heard a statement. He heard Stryker say something.
There. So for player knowledge, this is the group that will be inside.
Look at the babies! I'm so proud of them.
About how long do you think it would
Yeah.
take as far as to get there? Just for time, as far as sake.
It would probably take close to the 20 minutes he gave you.
Okay, that's fine.
It's not too far out of the way. It's actually on the way to the entrance, so you're technically going to be ahead of them if you leave that place first.
Fair. As he's going, well, as they're walking, they'll get... When they get a good distance away from the house, he'll stop for a second. So... You said something in there, Stryker.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to, see what I can do if I can. I'll talk to her for you.
Good luck. I picture he says good luck, Rin says good luck at the same time. Good luck.
Because while Rick can, like, get the Raven Queen's attention, she doesn't always get what she wants.
Okay, Rin, the only thing you ever got what you wanted was when you either were getting punished because you did it, or because Stryker died. Those are the only two things.
Every time she's like, look, can you do this? She's like, no!
You do this, there'll be consequences!
And then what happened is Rin would typically go, nah, better to ask for forgiveness and permission.
So yeah, now that I've said out loud essentially what he's doing, as far as he's going to talk to Obvious,
Put you over
they're
here.
making their way to the Temple of the Raven Queen.
He's gonna totally taunt to Orcus.
No shit.
Asmodeus.
How did you know? Asmodeus, I want to go talk to Tharizdun.
Perfect.
Orcus, you can bring back an undead striker.
Yes!
Well, there was an
Yeah.
alternative idea I brought up to Aspire that I thought was cute and adorable and I thought would be funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. There's still a very cute and funny thing that still could occur.
That's why I was laughing, because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that could be a thing now, because that is probably her alternate option. Oh, goodness. I gotta find a picture for that, though. Oh, I gotta...
Fair.
It's fine.
Oh man.
Your goal may be to break us, Fox, as far as with the things you're doing. My goal is to make you fuckers cry.
Hey, my goal is to soap opera the shit out of this, and it's working so far.
Dragon
When
Eye
to be
is
fair,
fine,
Drag-
man.
To be fair, Drag, guess what?
Speaking of
Hmm.
This could also be technically soap opera-ish.
we're not gonna
I like how you think.
say why, but that's a thing.
Oh, wait, what's the thing? Where?
Don't worry about it.
You safety boxed a thing, didn't you?
No.
No.
I'm
That
excited.
is actually very adorable.
It is.
It's cute.
That's like so adorable.
I'm okay with
It must be
this. I don't know
murderous.
what it is, but I'm okay with it.
Kreh has a guardian. Wouldn't it make sense her brother did too?
You know, that is fair.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You were
That is
saying
beautiful, and I
something.
love it.
You were saying something about murderous.
Yes, it stands. She's a tiny that guardian is a tiny ball of fury.
Welcome
Welcome
back.
back, Fluffy.
Welcome back.
Oh, I gotta find things.
Yes! Yes! I was hoping that description would be
Over here.
immediately caught.
It's fine.
Oh, I'm terrified for what I'm about to do.
Ain't he cute though?
Uh. Oh my god, this fire. So, I have two options.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
I have that one and this one. I kind of like the second one.
Oh my god, the second one. Yes! Yes! No, you have to do that one!
Okay. More about it.
Concurrent.
Oh my gosh, no, you have to do that second one!
Okay.
I love the first one. Like, that's great. The second one.
Oh, I love her geek out right now, and her's like, it's cute!
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love this so much.
I think I have down what I'm going to think.
I love all of it. I love it so much. Just my entire being.
It's fine.
My entire heart
Are you
for this SMP.
Oh goodness, it's... I was like, that makes the most sense, though. So who else would deal better with a hothead than the picky person?
The one that would yell at the hothead to sit down.
Yeah.
Out of character, you know what I just realized?
Mm.
This is my first conversation as a player with a god.
Nice.
This is my
Well-
first time DMing a god.
Hey.
Hey!
Now I gotta, like, figure out how to do that, because, oh dear lord.
Respect my authority.
Careful, Fluffy, I'll make you do it. Because you're the Raven Queen and the other one.
Oh,
Oh.
Don't
I
god.
thought you were about to say.
Never mind.
Okay, to be fair, I thought you were about to say Groot, and I was going to die laughing.
no.
You know what's funny
Oh.
though? Is I feel like Rin would hear what this request is, and this is by her request of like, this would be adorable.
Please, please. Oh my god.
I'm composed. I'm ready. Motherfucker.
You can do it.
How's Amos's religion checks? That's the question.
Huh?
How's Amos's religion?
It is a +4.
Ah, not bad.
Because it is intelligence based.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank God. Which wizards don't normally have.
Wizard.
When they get there, he will ask all ones stand outside, keep watch in case any. Yeah, you know where I'm going with that. Any people of a certain
Fair.
group. He'll take Striker in with him. You realize what I'm about to ask. It's not going to be permanent. It'll be as long as your kids are there. Your kid is there helping.
Alright.
He will walk to the altar area, I guess. And just sit. Close his eyes and focus. And I'm not going to do an accent here because I have to focus on what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm not normally one to reach out to a god or goddess, but in this moment of our need, an attempt to bring balance back to this world, as there is someone trying to upset the balance of things. I have a slight request of you. I am well aware this may not work. Might as well try. My request for you is temporarily, and I want to say temporarily, I'm sure you've seen what we're about to go deal with. You know who's there. You know who that person is to here with me. He does not wish to have his kid see him this way. And honestly, I would like their kid to have one happy moment out of what they're about to help us with. As well as the other two. My request is simple. From now until after the children leave, can I ask you to please restore not Stalver. God, I have too many S names in my head at the moment.
Wrong campaign.
I hate it. I'm not. Can you please restore Stryker to his mortal form? And temporarily provide us with Ren. Just for this. We need all the help we can get.
Roll me a religion check. See if you even got through.
19 on the die.
Okay.
Plus 4, 23.
So... Okay. You see Lunaris glow. And after a few moments, the glow stops and the eyes are back to the whatever color it is on the pit, the red.
Mm-hmm.
His soul's technically no longer in there. Back at the house!
All getting up and getting ready and whatnot.
Yeah,
Oh.
back at the
I feel
house.
like Ignis is poking Cam.
Temporarily.
Nobody was snapped out of existence. That way he wasn't still at the house.
Constantly trying to smack her hand away and just trying to slightly ignore her.
Kreh. While you're sitting there.
Yo.
These two lights appear in front of you. As you are going to also borrow Rin.
Hey!
And these two little puppers appear on the
Oh.
table for now. Essentially, I would have to look up how it worked again, but essentially, remember when Grail could become human from his bird form? That's what's going to be allowed to happen.
Okay.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, it was like a certain number of hours a day.
I feel
Yeah,
like
it was-
I feel like he's looking at this form right now and just, what the fuck? It's all Kreh hairs in her head.
Huh.
There is a tackle immediately.
I haven't seen you in weeks!
Cinder wants to hug them both.
It was like, okay, they wouldn't be ravens, but I thought little wolves with wings would be so cute. Well, the other one looks more like a fox, but I couldn't find any more good wolf pictures out of it. I found this one. So, they don't have a whole lot of decent art that's not like a weird furry or adult thing.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
There. Matthew's just gonna look at Lucky.
Lucky's probably blinking and staring.
The Rin pup gets off of Striker, looks back over at the other two.
Technically, they both have telepathy options.
Neat.
And Kreh, you can communicate to them telepathically, no one else can.
Ah.
They work like familiars.
Gotcha.
Except they have been given the gift to be able to talk to anyone.
Ah.
Was Rin originally, like, over with Bro?
Yeah. Technically, she is his familiar now.
Yeah. So this is going to be a change of pace.
Okay, so I know Striker. You are.
Right. Oh, you are his sister, aren't you? Ha. Hi. Rin. I'm his wife.
Okay.
Okay. just accepts it. Okay.
So now Kreh has 2 puppies.
Maggie's
You
still
know?
staring at them like, what the fuck?
So, yeah, just over
I
to
feel like Lucky's like,
This is
poking.
apparently Ren and
What?
Striker.
oh wait, which one's Ren?
Glare.
That one.
Yep. Pulls on her tail.
Looks over at Trigger. I'm sorry. Did I? That's how that felt.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Cause she used to do that to him all the time.
Yeah. I can imagine it wasn't a little painful. She's like, I used to do it to the boys all the time. Oh man, I got a lot of people to apologize to.
So she can't communicate. She can only communicate with Kreh right now, or like.
Technically, she can telepathically talk to anyone.
Yeah, they just have to be more vocal to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kreh's the only one who can telepathically talk back.
Gonna look at Matt and Lucky and go, please tell me the kids have not taken after their uncles.
Now I feel hurt. I feel wounded. And you're tinier.
And my life is so much worse now. You want to find out?
Mine too.
Now, you two. I'm sure the niece and nephew are fine and not posted outside of Hell's gates right now.
I'm sorry, they're what?
Oh yeah, that's where we're going.
Looks back at Striker. I'm sorry. When did that? I look away for 5 seconds and my children are in hell?
Well, Frost is.
I shouldn't be. Right. This is fine. This is fine. Oh no.
I'll have to go find their tokens so I can do an alternate humanoid form. I think it was like a
Well,
once a day thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, back at the
Mhm.
temple, Amos is slightly tearing up because it worked.
Oh.
It might become a permanent thing.
You know,
Or he'll be more as a familiar to her.
I am okay with this.
Lose the ability to do the humanoid form after this mission, basically.
Hmm.
That was the temp
That is
part
fair.
that she gave.
This is fair. I feel like this form might be a bit sneakier.
The glare you would get if that was in character.
Yeah. No, I'll do it.
But
And
essentially for you,
Yeah.
Lunaris, you can do your battle doggo normal now.
Okay.
So you have time to do that because you still got to get there and all that. It's yeah.
Yeah. I need to find its old sheet.
I think I have it somewhere.
Lunaris. Is this the updated one?
I'll probably end up editing these tokens to be more color. Well, like her eyes and stuff like that, and actually put some
Mhm.
color on the other one. But
I think this had the 77 health right at this level.
I feel like as he sees Cinder walking up, he's gonna like lean over to Rin. She's about to pick you up, by the way.
What? Why?
Druid.
She's perfectly harmless.
Uh-huh.
Kreh will
Hi.
not stop Cinder.
She goes, "Hi."
I can't tell if you're freaking adorable or absolutely terrifying.
She gives this like very innocent smile.
Both.
It's like Owen, but hyper.
I'm thinking about the boys.
It's just watching.
Wait, last I checked, there was only one of them. What happened? I was legit with her brother for like 5 minutes. What happened?
That's ignorant. Some.
Right. Babe, you're gonna have to explain a lot on the way there.
Cinder
A
might.
very annoying vampire.
Cinder might pet Ren.
Oh.
Just kind of goes, huh.
The immediate melt.
Yeah.
So that's how that feels.
Yeah. I don't know why you complained about this part.
Because when I wanted to be angry, it didn't let me be angry.
Now, see, I didn't want you to be angry when you were angry.
I feel like nobody can hear the conversation between them, but he's just like glaring at her.
If a
And she's giving the puppy eyes.
just like the little like.
The conversation between them is all you can just imagine it.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
Oh,
Alright, so we now have 2 pups.
meet the fiery one, and the one that, also the one that kept his leash. Points to the other one.
If I could flip
And-
you off, I would.
It wasn't the other way around. Oh no, he didn't
No.
dare. He tried.
Kind of like me and Lucky.
Sips coffee.
He's not the one holding it.
And to be fair, still no leash. I might be dead, but I'm not afraid of anything.
Good. We're going to 9 hells. You shouldn't be afraid of things. Oh, by the way,
Hmm.
I've been given permission to perform a show.
Looks over at Lucky. Why?
I wanted to see fireworks.
Also, the best cover for stealth.
Fair. Okay.
And also the kids might be helping distracting on the inside. It's fine.
I am not going to be seeing my children anytime soon, Lucky. If I see any one of them before they're supposed to be where we end up, I am personally going to come find you and remove the immortality from you with my bare hands.
You know. You know, it's,
Don't worry. It's fine.
I mean,
On a
they're
good
a
note.
trained team.
Yeah. And think of it this way. By doing what you're doing, you're also helping him. He points to Aeren.
Waves.
Hi. Right. How is it helping?
Well, he's going to be coming with us to hopefully not let him be recaptured by the people that bought him.
Bot?
Yes.
And you haven't removed this person yet because...
Because red tape.
What's that?
Don't worry. I'm stacking the deck.
Okay.
They won't be a problem.
I love how Matthew said red tape and Ren's just like, what's red tape?
Matthew knows what it is. He ignores it.
Yeah. Just.
You don't have to worry about red tape if you build a ladder that goes directly above it and circumvents it entirely.
You don't worry about red tape if you blow it up.
Or just go through the
This
gaps.
is also true.
Different
Loopholes.
methods. But essentially, Aeren, is going to, quote unquote, if he does like air quotes, stay here and watch over the place. And there might be a gas leak when someone tries to come reclaim.
Looks at Lucky. Could have had a nice, quiet house.
You know, I hoped for that, but I also, part of me knew that that was never gonna happen.
No. Part of me knew too, but also part of me was going to wait for the day he was going to blow himself up.
Almost done that a few times.
Yes.
Yeah, trust me, I know I may have, Sorry?
Oh, don't worry. I'm not
I
going anywhere
imagine-
anytime soon.
I imagine Bryn on more than one occasion has pulled a fate string the wrong way, specifically on Matt.
He's gonna lean in and whoop her on the nose and go, "Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere time soon."
I would like to bite his face off, but I feel like that is not. This is not a good time.
I might enjoy it. Anyways,
Lucky you have the weirdest husband.
I don't think it's weird.
I'd say I'm
He
concerned,
looks
but
at
I'm
Lucky.
not.
I think I'm weird. But that's good.
I would say I'm concerned, but considering, I'm just gonna. She just kind of lays down, like a face between her paws, like whenever we're ready to go.
You know,
Any objections?
Yep, I'm good.
good air.
I think we're good to go. And I've been ready to get out of Arcadia since we got here.
Yeah, it's not that bad once you get rid of the rabble.
Alright. I believe it, just, yeah.
Alright.
Alright, Aeren, stay sneaky.
That's not hard.
He'll be the last one to leave, basically. Or Matthew will.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Essentially, he'll, when he's locking the door, be like, "Remember, don't go in the basement.
Hmm?
And stay here and recover. Keep it safe." And he'll shut and lock the door.
Fair.
Saying things out loud. Smart, man.
Mm-hmm. Like he's talking to somebody they're leaving behind.
You know?
Nothing he wouldn't normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
concerning.
Deception. In case
I-
anyone heard him.
Dice
know?
rolls. I hate just We're leaving. We're walking. We're moving.
So being able to use Misty Step 10 times is fun in the minute that you can be invisible, as well as also boost your speed by 10 feet.
Nice.
You
Nice.
So
know?
technically he could probably meet you guys at the gate.
You
Fair.
know.
There.
Are we talking invisibility or greater invisibility?
Greater.
'Cause- Okay. Just making sure, because I was wait, one of those breaks when you cast shit.
Holy fuck!
He's got greater
Bloody hell.
invisibility.
Yo,
Good
you
luck.
have. He has expertise in deception, doesn't he, Fluffy?
Yes, he does.
I was about to say, yeah. God.
Hey.
He's had that since the fucking
Yeah.
start of his character thing. That was his whole shtick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Manipulator.
Yep. So yeah, Amos would end up, after a few minutes, walk out of the temple. Looks at all one. You think Kreh would be mad that her dog no longer has a soul?
Probably not.
Good. The striker's no longer here.
Huh.
I think my request worked.
Well, I mean, she's not heartless.
Hmm?
Not a heartless person. And they have served her for a long time.
And they're about to help us restore balance. Which I'm sure the Keeper of Fate might appreciate.
I feel like Stryker attempted to fly a few times and then just eventually landed on Kreh's shoulder and like, nah.
It's like,
Too much effort.
Wings no.
He doesn't know how to fly, man. He's a sprint dude.
You know.
We've probably had some time to practice keeping out of reach of jacks.
Yeah.
Just like, no, you're gonna listen to me.
Yeah.
Sorry for Jax.
Well, because I was like, well, he's the hothead of the two, and he's being trained to be a leader. Rin might be the one to put him in his place.
You know, that's a fair
It's-
response.
Stryker is always more of a guardian type, so it makes sense that he's watching Kreh.
Yeah, we had that conversation. I was like, that makes complete sense because of all the people to deal with a punk kid. It is the woman that will yell at you, and it doesn't matter who you are.
It's gonna.
You know.
She will talk sense to him, but first she will have to get through his thick skull to get there.
You know,
It's a 23 stealth there, and it makes it through the city just fine.
Eh.
Guard perception is not great. You could try to put them both on there. Oh my god, you got
Hey.
it work.
I did it.
Hey. Congrats, dude.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
On the bright side, Lunaris has identified what allies are and who to stalk if it was ever to become separated.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say you guys make it out of the city without any real issues. Probably just see, like, more guards active because they've noticed that somebody's missing by this point.
You know?
that's fine. They'll find him eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Seeing the hoppers on with Kreh. Ah, so that's where she sent them to.
And that's what you went off to do, it seems.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Fair enough.
And with that,
Just I couldn't miss the opportunity. Just I couldn't miss the opportunity to see parents reunite with a kid.
Fair enough.
I think with that, as you guys are heading off to the Nine Hills, that's a good place to call it.
Hooray!
So you're almost 4 hours in.
Hey.
You know, fair.
A lot of convo again. And I've got to make maps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
And unless anything happens, you guys probably will start as you reach the place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Lucky would have noticed this just because it's funny.
Hmm.
He probably adjusted his cuff and pushed one of the buttons a little bit harder than normal.
Oh,
It's fine.
Hope Lucky wasn't attached to that house.
and there's a reason that he grabbed all his notes and didn't bother trying to grab them too many materials. Probably grabbed enough to keep himself occupied, and then that was it.
You know.
Tools and things.
Always get more through Lucky's normal means.
Yeah,
You know?
oh yeah, I'm sure Xander's gonna love hearing that Lucky needs more supplies because the house blew up.
People invaded and they blew up the house. I don't know what happened.
So we got a problem, Xander. What did you do, Lucky? Lucky, why? No, hear me out. We had intruders. The house blew up. I need supplies. Fuck.
If you can see inside the walls and the floors, there's probably red lights.
Oh
You know,
no.
fair. Huh. You know, and I feel like one of the last things people would think before they die. Huh. There's C4 in the foundations. Good to know.
Well, thank you all for coming out to hang out. I hope you enjoyed. And we will have some lovely action next time and a new map.
Oh
Yeah.
God, battle. How do fight again?
How do fight
next-
again?
How do
Next
fight
week I
apart?
get to torture people.
You get your closest mate and group together and hit the thing till it dies.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then you also gotta find the 3 that are inside somewhere, making sure the stragglers are taken care of.
It's like, okay, where are the kids?
And which one of them has plane shift? This makes me very intrigued.
I'm excited, man.
I think I
Well-
know which one.
For some player knowledge, we all know that Ethan was mostly trained by Aeren, obviously. Claire by Aurora, and probably a mix of Aurora and Ronnie.
Yee.
You want to take a guess at who trained Frost?
Mm.
I honestly don't know.
A lot of good options.
Cause
There
I know
was.
Daddy trained Faye, but like,
Daddy trained Faye.
which means she's out there in the world somewhere, like killing people.
Tiny assassin.
Did Striker's sister train Frost?
No.
Damn.
Was somebody
was a
from
good
the
guess.
party though.
Oh, someone in the party. Oh.
I was thinking about it. I was like, who would he have taken the most interest in as far as skills?
I'm trying to remember who had plane shift in our party.
Okay, I'm just gonna point out something real quick.
Druids have it.
Yeah, Alwyn.
Druids have it. be fair, it's also a cleric spell.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cleric and a wizard.
but Ronnie was more focused on like healing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Owen was more of a nature boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so was
That
Frost
would
with his love of plants.
That makes so
Yeah.
much sense.
Honestly, that was going to be my first guess. I was like, wait a minute, I need to go an off-the-wall
He
guess
is-
here.
He is also a circular land, but he is grassland instead of forest.
Nice.
This is fine.
Yeah.
We are prepared-ish.
What is prepared?
So he has a very long lifespan because I also accounted for the extra like 250-ish years that they got
Yeah.
from the parents requesting their kids live longer
Yeah.
too.
Past them.
Yeah. There's a reason he
They
looks
didn't
so
want to
young.
all their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
The other twins are vampirs, so
yeah. I mean,
Age, what was that?
obviously we know Faye's probably some type of rogue.
Yeah,
Or at
she's
least a
off-
rogue-based thing.
Yeah, she's off somewhere like schmoozing with lords and ladies, but also stabbing them.
Yeah, now the question is, I wonder what the
Yeah.
twins became.
That was my next thought.
Yep.
Was like, oh no, what did the twins do?
Bards.
That is a very
No.
good question.
No, they were not the charming type. That
No,
was
they
Frost. That was Frost
They-
that was always flirting.
Fair.
Yeah.
Which he
Frost
actually
was
has a
mischievous.
16 charisma.
Faye was just cute and sweet, but then she was also the baby. The twins were chaotic. They were just, we want to get into everything.
To be fair, I could see at least one of them going trickster rogue.
Oh yeah.
At
One of them
least
going
one.
Trickster Road, and the other was trained by Bernadette.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh god, one became an artificer, one became a trickster rogue. Could you imagine that
Mhm.
combo of trouble?
Oh my,
That's what I was sitting here thinking. I was like, I could
They
see
would
one of them
know.
being.
oh my
I-
gosh.
I was about to say, I was like, I could see one of them being involved in explosives. Oh God!
Oh no.
Oh,
I'm just imagining.
Now what Rin
imagining that
asked
thing
makes
while one walks
sense.
the other.
No, now what Rin asked makes sense. Matthew trained
Yeah.
one of them.
too.
Lucky and Matthew trained them.
Technically, also, fucking. Leah also was an artificer, artillerist.
Yep.
That's true.
Their whole thing was explosions, essentially.
I could
Yeah.
see it being like a
A
mix of
mixture.
Leah,
Yeah.
Matthew, and Lucky all teaching the twins.
Yeah, Leah was trying to teach him like the actual science of things, and Lucky was kind of doing the same thing. Then Matt was just like, "Watch this go boom."
And then every so often, Bernadette would try and like, no, you're not tightening that. And Lucky goes, no.
Mhm.
No.
I also found out something interesting about the artillerist that I
Mhm.
actually did wrong.
Oh.
Oh.
The drone, the little turret thing they can make.
Mm-hmm.
I did 3 different turrets. There's technically only one turret that can do all 3 things as
Hmm.
just one at a time.
Honestly,
Using a single bonus action.
I'd say it'd be a flavor thing as far as making 3 separate though.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, with that, I need to use the
Yeah.
restroom, so we're gonna say bye real quick.
fast
Yeah.
ring.
Bye.
Saturday for Orlando.
Saturday.
Yeah, Landar Saturday.